They messed up my order last time where they forgot to send it out when I asked for them to. And that meant that I was really low on food and I was pissed off at them for doing that. So they messed up and they ended up sending me double what I normally order. You can see that I got my usual chicken, then I got my beef, then I got chicken and vegetable because I wanted to try to see what it would be like to get some vegetable in her diet. And then last, here we have goat and beef. And then I also did try getting her some salmon. So I got 45 pounds this time. Ow. Man, sometimes when she flails, she just scratches a part of my body, like the back of my foot. Now that I unpacked the food, she's all giddy. Don't worry, we'll eat soon. So this is an extra thing they provided in my package. It's just powder that I can add to her food. And I guess I'll just use it. Usually they give me treats that I don't tend to give her because I'm just not a fan of treats. And another thing I actually have here is I bought a few more clothes from Victoria's Secret, which seems weird because people know them for their lingerie, but the past few years they have been releasing sportswear, activewear more like, sorry. So I bought some sweatshirts and maybe 1 or 2 pants, just more for comfort stuff because I have realized that with some of the activewear pants that I have, some of them are a little bit tight in the sense that the pressure that it puts on your waist, if I wear it at work for 8 hours, it starts to become very uncomfortable. So I bought one size up just to see how it would feel, small, which is so different for me because I am so used to shopping where I buy the smallest size for everything. And for some reason, for some of these brands, a tiny little 5'3", 100-pound girl isn't fit well in an extra small in terms of like it might actually be too tight. So I'll probably try some of these on. Of course, if any of them don't fit well at all, I will definitely return because I spent like 100 something on this purchase. So need to make sure that I love everything in order to keep all of it. Look at this girl. Look at this whiny. Whiny. Samuel, you're so quiet. There we go. Are you losing your voice? Okay. Burp, burp. Hey, burp, burp. The frame is not big enough for when she just darts around. Goes in and out of frame. Okay. This is look number 1. Uh-oh, I kind of want to make sure that she doesn't get too close to me because these are black leggings. Oh, my knee already has some hair. I know sometimes I obsess way too hard about not getting hair on my clothes for owning 3 pets, which is ridiculous. So, god damn, they're crowding me today. Puppers. Too close. Too close? When her eyes are that direct and sharp and laser focused, I think it's so funny. But anyways, the pants are small and they definitely fit very nice. Like this has enough looseness and enough tightness where obviously it's not gonna freaking slide off, but it's not gonna put pressure on my stomach, which is good. But this sweatshirt, I'm pretty sure I ordered an extra small, and look at the saggy shit. I don't really think I'm gonna keep this. I hate saggy. I mean, it does the purpose of being, you know, comfortable and sweatshirty, but what the hell is this? Extra small and it's still this big? I need to double check the size, but I will try on another top. Here trying to do a fashion show, and Sammy is. I think it's so funny that he does that. Sometimes when I'm in the living room watching something and then I hear the scratching on the closet, I don't think that it's Sammy right away. So I'm like, what the fuck is that sound in my house? But then it's Sammy. Do we want to stay and watch him the whole time? I don't think so. I'm gonna go change. I don't know how I feel about this one. Maybe this extra on the side isn't as bad as I think. But the weird thing is this one seems to have a different fit than the other one, even though I thought that they are the exact same sweatshirt, just different styling and color. So, I don't know. I'll probably, this one I might keep just because it doesn't feel as baggy on me. To be honest, I guess I'm not really sure what I should be expecting. This is 40% cotton, 60% cotton, 40% polyester, which I guess is not terrible. This regular price, I think this is around $30, like $28 or something like that. The main reason I bought from them during this time is because they had a buy one, get one free. So basically each of these were kind of essentially costing around $15 because I was buying two for the price of one. So I'm not really sure if this, you know what, maybe I should be too picky. I mean, I might return the other one, but this one should be all right. She's like getting so close to me. You know what I find fucking insane? This pair of capris is an extra small and I can't get it above my thighs. Can you imagine how small the waist of this pant is? If even me, a small person, can't fit into this, I just find that so ridiculous. I think my waist size, if I go based on jean sizes that I've purchased in the past, I think it might be like 25 inches, something like that. So it's just, what the fuck? Who do they expect to wear an extra small of this if even I can't fit into it? So far we have two things I'm gonna return. Oh my God. Yeah, by the way, I found this thread in the sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now, the purple one. So I'm actually even concerned, like, did I fucking pull this out of my sweatshirt or was it just left in there and not actually thread that I messed up? But this is the last one I'm gonna try, and these are actually just sweatpants. This is crazy. Oh my God, sometimes it's just unbelievable. How do these companies make money? So the last capri that I was talking about, extra small, is too small where I can't even get it on my body. This is a small, and look how loose this is. Look how much extra space there is in this. And the black pair that I was wearing earlier on my legs, that's a small. So why are they going from a small from that, where it's like fits very well, to this insanely baggy shit? Like, the main reason I ordered a small is because I wanted that slight extra looseness in the waist, but not this amount of looseness. This is crazy ridiculous. Okay, returning. Do we have some peepers back here? Look at this peeper. Peppers. Down. Good. Wow. I don't think I've ever really given her a command backwards before. Break. Good. Wow, so delayed. You're so goofy today. Okay, I'll play with you now. I forgot to put my powder in her food when I fed her just now, so I added it to the water and we'll see how she likes it. That's a lot of water, so if that powder purely makes her drink all of it, then that'll be amazing. Good girl. Break. Good. Good job. Hello. It is Thursday night, and I figured that while I am waiting for my oatmeal to soften up, so I've just been letting it sit to soften, and I switched from almond milk to soy milk because I felt like there was like a tiny bit of sweetness to almond milk that I didn't really like. But I'm pretty excited about this one just because I started eating raspberries again, and the batch that I got this week is so good. So this is gonna taste amazing. Something that I have realized is that I haven't talked about horseback riding yet ever since I started taking lessons. So let me just talk about that really quick. I have been taking lessons weekly on Sundays for an hour, and I'd say right now, you know, riding is kind of interesting because it's a lot more difficult than you expect. I'd say that I wouldn't consider myself even intermediate yet. I mean, it's only been, I think, a little bit over a month, and I am now off lead. So in the beginning at this barn, they kind of keep you on lead where the trainer is gonna hold it, where the horse is attached to it, just to kind of help you guide the horse, assist you in different ways, either to keep the horse trotting or keep the horse against the rail. They want you to ride around the outside of the arena, right? So in the beginning, when you're new, I think they kind of really want to teach you to not be so timid and to just be assertive. So an aspect of riding that I find very interesting, because I feel like it relates to dog training so strongly, is being assertive. Because there are times where you're riding and your horse just randomly stops trotting, even though you didn't tell it to stop trotting, or they would just turn randomly, or they would just like stop walking, they would just not listen to you, or they would do something that you didn't ask them to do. So in those cases, you need to be assertive and be like, keep trotting, I didn't tell you to stop trotting. So you would do more kicks, or you would use the reins to kind of whip them a little bit. It's kind of cool because I feel like I'm getting into it more and more and feeling way more comfortable, where I feel when the horse is slowing down, and when they do, I give them more kicks, or I'm just less afraid of hurting them, because really we're just small human beings on a big ass horse. So people see you like kicking the horse and they're like, oh my God, you're hurting the horse. You're really not. They're humongous. They're huge. They barely really feel it. It's just pressure that they feel, and that they know through training what they're supposed to do with that pressure. Right now, I just kind of want to get a better feel for posting. Posting is probably one of the ones that can be a little bit more challenging because the feel is different per horse. And in case people aren't familiar with it, it's basically what the riders do. They like sit up and down in rhythm with the horse's movement. It's kind of interesting because whenever I did trail rides in the past, I always felt like trots were hurting the shit out of my ass. But now that I've been riding for some time, you kind of know how to relax your body to kind of go with the trot. That way you're not actually bouncing like crazy and there's no pain involved. But something I was definitely a little bit concerned about, because my trainer, she says that riding isn't good for your joints. Recently, I have started to come to terms with the fact that I have been completely idiotic when it comes to my knees. So if you've been watching me since last year, you know that I went to a doctor because I have patellar tendonitis. And I did stretches, I did exercises. I went to him maybe once a week, or it started becoming bi-weekly, where I would go and he would just massage my legs and kind of like ease my muscles. So after some time, I stopped going because the pain did subside, but the problem was that I wasn't aware that I needed to keep doing those exercises to keep strengthening those tendons and those muscles. So I think that just over time, recently, since then, I've just been abusing my knees. I've been doing jump roping every day at work. I would be doing double unders, which I feel like is very, very intense. So I don't know, just to imagine that my knees are already in bad shape, and to imagine me doing jump rope like that every day is kind of not so great to think about. So I definitely realize now that I'm going to cut everything off that could possibly hinder the repair for my knees, one of which is jump roping. And something I was thinking about is riding, because I'm not too sure. Based off today, I don't think it was that bad on my knees. I think I'll just see over time. At least at home, I'm definitely gonna have to change up my workouts because in the past I was doing a few leg workouts that put a lot of strain on your legs. They would be really great workouts. I really enjoyed them, but they would be ones where you're balancing on one leg for, I don't know, close to a minute or 2 minutes when you're doing movement. And I feel like over time, that probably wasn't so great on my knees, especially when they're already weak, starting off that way. It's definitely tough for someone like me to adjust to much lower intensity workouts to accommodate strengthening my knees and being kind of slowly increasing intensity and slowly making things harder because you can't rush stuff like this. I think the part about working out that I enjoy the most is when I do a certain exercise that feels very difficult and then I'm able to do it. Or if I'm able to do like a lot of reps, or if I'm able to just really push myself. That's the aspect I enjoy the most about working out. But I think if I want to really be serious about making sure I'm not doing anything too crazy for my knees, then I definitely need to tone it down. I take full responsibility in not realizing that just because the pain goes away doesn't mean you can just stop everything in regards to what you did in the past to try to make it better. I really want to emphasize that people should definitely take it super serious when it comes to caring for your body, because it feels really awful for me to be walking around and to feel terrible when I'm walking because my knees would hurt. I wouldn't feel comfortable putting full weight on my legs when I'm walking. Like, I feel like I'm kind of just shifting my weight, because if I wanted to walk normally, I would be afraid that there would be pain or there might be extreme discomfort. I can definitely feel some sort of pressure underneath my kneecap, and it just doesn't feel good. This discomfort is around even when I'm just sitting down right now. When I'm sleeping, I feel it in my knee, and it's really awful. Anytime your body tells you something is wrong, don't push it. You really want to address it right away and make sure that it is 100% gone. And if it's something like this where you kind of need to continue strengthening, then that's really important. I guess another thing though, in regards to riding, today I did my makeup lesson because this past Sunday my trainer was sick, so we had to reschedule. But today she did tell me about this in-house horse show that my barn is doing and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. And it kind of seems like one where I would have to ride and kind of show off what I'm capable of in front of judges. And she said it was $75 for the day, which is a lot of money. And I think, to be honest, since I've only been off lead for 2 lessons, I don't know how comfortable and confident I feel in my riding ability just yet to do something like that. Plus, I don't really know if I have the personality for horse shows, because I like competition, right? But I don't know how much pride I will feel if I were to win the best rider award for the barn, you know? I already feel like that aspect of the horse world where you're competing in any way is just not something I'm that interested in. So I did tell her that I would be really interested in spectating, and this is next Saturday, but I don't really think I want to participate as a rider. I am looking forward to the event though, because I want to take the time to really observe other people and see their riding form and see maybe if they're doing specific things with their legs that I can try to incorporate. Milo, oh Milo, he's resting in my crotch. But the funny thing is I can never show cute stuff like this because I don't have pants on, and that is inappropriate. It is. Hello. It's Saturday afternoon, and I was doing some thinking lately. I actually think that I haven't really dressed up nicely, aside from activewear, in a really long time now. I actually think it has been months since I have wore heels and gone out looking nice in a nice outfit. So I kind of felt like doing that today, even though I just went out earlier for like nearly 3-hour motorcycle ride, and I didn't take any breaks this time. Pink sweater. I've got this bodysuit underneath that I doubt will really do much to keep me much warmer. I've got my black jeans on, and then these are my Diane von Furstenberg heels. The main reason I'm not wearing my other ones is because I am trying to sell them, so I shouldn't, be wearing them around. But I am actually pretty hungry. My stomach doesn't really hurt right now, but it did kind of hurt earlier in the middle of my ride. So I want to go get something to eat, and then I will really just feel good about relaxing at home, because honestly, I think I'm still feeling a little bit cold. I rode up to Sunrise Highway and it was really cold up there. Even with my heat gear, I got pretty cold and I was like shuddering, and I feel like after I go through something like that, my body takes a really long time to warm back up. So I actually just took a hot shower and all of that, and I'm at home for at least an hour now, but I still feel like my fingertips are very cold. All right, I am gonna go out. And I guess the main reason I kind of wanted to dress up was to see how I feel about it again. I don't know, I don't think that makes sense, but I think since I got my hair cut, admittedly, I feel like with this hairstyle that I don't look as good. I've never gotten my hair this short in my life before. I guess after months of wearing activewear, it feels good to dress up and look nice and have that confidence. So I'm gonna go out. And we will talk later. Okay, I figured maybe while driving, this would be a good time to talk. Okay, so earlier I was riding by myself as usual, and I made a little stop at this one area because it was starting to go higher in elevation and I knew that it would be getting colder. So I wanted to stop and turn up my heat gear, because right now the way that I have it set up is I have the controller in my pocket, and I have it set up that way because it becomes less in the way. Basically, I get to connect it right off the side of my motorcycle, and then I tuck everything into my pocket, so it's just more clean that way. So the problem with that is I am not able to change how much heat I want while I'm riding. So I wanted to just make a quick stop and change my heat, but somebody else rode up to me. It was a man, much older, definitely in his 50s or something, on a Harley, a three-wheeler Harley. And at first, I was like, okay, some person wants to talk, that's fine. But I think my issue with these interactions is just that, for me at least, I know very quickly if I click with someone. And this guy, I just clearly knew I didn't click with him. Plus, for some reason, I feel like people just can be so idiotic about commenting about how skinny people are. So I have been skinny my entire life, and I'm not sensitive to people calling me skinny. I just think it's kind of ridiculous that people say it so bluntly like that and expect you to be okay with it. I told him that I was stopping to change my heat gear because I get cold very easily when I'm riding, and he said, oh yeah, of course, you have no meat on your bones. And I know that's like a harmless comment, and I'm not offended by him calling me skinny. I just, like I said, I can't believe people still comment on your body when they don't know anything about you. In this day and age, I feel like people are so stupidly critical about people's bodies when they don't know anything. For example, recently the Victoria's Secret fashion show was on maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. And everybody that commented on those models kept saying they were too skinny and to go eat something, when really these models actually eat a very, very healthy diet and they work out like crazy. So to say that is just so freaking ignorant. What is this person doing? I'm getting gas, but I don't know what this fucking woman is doing. Got my gas, and I just realized that I should have checked, but the ramen place doesn't open until 5:30, and it's 4:17 right now. Man, And that's a long time to burn, especially because the drive is only 15 minutes. But okay, let's continue with my story. So I am very analytical, right? So I pay attention to everything and kind of always think through what their motive is when I interact with people like this. So the skinny comment was already a big turnoff for me because I just think it's so unnecessary to comment on somebody else's body. And then he mentioned how like, oh, we should ride together sometime. I would love to ride around with you. And he wanted to give me his number. So it was just a weird ass interaction because he asked me where I lived. I told him where. He said he lived in Pine Valley, which is about like 40 minutes east of here. So he was looking through his three-wheeler because they have like trunk space and everything. And he was looking for a piece of paper to write his phone number on to give to me. And I am pretty sure during that whole period when he was talking about living in Pine Valley, he called himself trailer trash, but maybe in a joking manner, but that was still just the dumbest thing. I don't like self-deprecating humor, honestly, because it usually indicates that that individual isn't very confident in themselves, and that is an extremely important trait to have in somebody, because I feel like if you're around people that lack confidence, they will kind of expect you to boost them up whenever they need you to, and I would never want to do that. So anyways, he mentioned stuff like that, and then he also offered me cookies that he had, and I was saying how I just ate, so no thank you. And then he was like, oh, I ate as well, but I still make room for dessert or something like that. So that part of the conversation kind of indicates to me how he pretty much still tried to convince me of something when I declined his offer for fucking cookies. He struck me as the type of person that wouldn't just leave you alone if you said you weren't interested. I feel like he would hang around and try to convince me to talk to him and to let me have his number and to ride with him. So eventually he was just looking through his bike for so long for a fucking piece of paper. So I was just like, here, I will type down your phone number in my phone. So he gave it to me, and then afterwards I was just gonna get ready, just suit up and go, because I wasn't planning on stopping there very long. But when he rode up next to me, like he very close to me, I felt like I needed to be polite and talk to him. So the whole time when I was getting ready to go and I pulled out my phone to turn on my music again, he asked me once again if I called him yet, just so he would have my number. And I was like, no, I'll call you after my ride. He just felt really pushy. Honestly, I really didn't like that. And in situations like this, I definitely don't like that I felt compelled to stay to be polite. That's something I wish that hopefully in the future I can get over doing, where I can just try to cut a conversation short if I'm not happy about it. And I also kind of don't like the idea of leading them on in the sense that I accepted his phone number and gave him the impression that I would contact him again, but obviously I wouldn't. So I know that's something that people do very commonly just to be polite, but that's kind of something that I don't want to live by. I don't want to be polite and receive something from someone if I don't want to. In the moment, I would like to let them know that I'm not interested and that no, I won't be calling you, no, I don't want your phone number and stuff like that. But I don't have a lot of experiences with these scenarios. In those situations, it definitely sucks. And plus, in most of these situations, I do think that most bikers are older men. So I don't have anything against huge age gaps or anything, but I do admit that when you are first approached by someone much older than you, it does feel a little off, and I am usually thrown off by that. So what the hell is this? I decided to change my destination to Tasty Pot instead of ramen because I have 50 more minutes until the restaurant opens. I can't do anything about that. Not a terrible alternative by any means, but I was just really wanting that ramen. Place that I go for ramen, it tastes so good. Break. Good. Good girl. All right, today we are trying the salmon. I don't know how she will react. Break. Good. First time having it. You can tell it looks different than the other one. Damn it, Milo. So the package said ground Atlantic salmon. I actually wonder if this is why Milo is being like this. Because normally when she eats, they don't really bother coming over at all. Something I definitely didn't think much about is how she would react to new food. So hopefully she's not going to be throwing up or having diarrhea or anything. When I started her on this chicken and beef diet originally, she actually transitioned very well. As in, she didn't have any shit accidents or anything during transition. So that was very smooth. But I do have 3 new ones to give her this time. Goat and beef, this one, which I only bought 5 of this one. And then I also have chicken and vegetable, I believe. And then I also got more chicken and beef, the one that she's used to. But yeah, she's eating this hella slow. What the heck?